People seem to have such a strong reaction to you right from the get-go. They either loved you or they went at you. Why do you think that is? Or do you disagree that that was the appearance?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know what it would be. Perhaps the criticism would be, you know, what it is that I represent. Certainly, I think what I represent is out of the box when you consider most conventional candidates for higher office, national office. You know, certainly being in a Washington outsider and not part of that elite group, I think that some would want to choose from. Perhaps just being an outsider and an unknown. Certainly, there was a tremendous amount of curiosity there, and some chose to satisfy their curiosity based on facts in someone's record, and others chose to satisfy their curiosity based on those, I'm going to characterize them as those bloggers in their parents' basement just talking garbage. And you know, that's somebody's choice, I guess, and where they want to go to write about someone, talk about someone. But there were some oddities there.
How about women journalists? What was your thought about them? The ones, not the ones who spoke favorably about you, but the ones who spoke unfavorably.
I just would have loved to have the opportunity to have sat down and spoken with them. And that's an odd thing, isn't it, about candidates, that you know, it's a free-for-all. Your life is an open book, and you open yourself up to criticism, and you better be ready to take that criticism then. Otherwise, don't run for office, you know, if you can't handle it. But when it's, you've got the big target on your back, then it is a free-for-all, and the criticism that is coming your way is, again, it had better be, you better be ready for it, otherwise you have no right running for office. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's reality.
Did it ever get under your skin?
Not really. Again, what would be under my skin or frustrating was just when I had facts to counter false allegations, and kind of like nobody would listen to them. You know, you couldn't defend yourself if they weren't, the media was not willing to correct the mistakes that had been written and printed, and that was kind of frustrating. But again, at the same time, I knew that John McCain and I were on the right road in the message that we had to voters, saying here's where we believe the nation should go, and here are the policies that we believe need to be adopted in order to win the war, get the economy back on the right track, protect our constitutional rights, all those things that we were campaigning on. I knew we were on the right road, so I knew that the shots, the darts and the arrows coming our way, we had to be able to put up with that and take that in order to progress the message, the plan that we had for Americans. At the end of the day, American voters spoke. It's the will of the people that it was not our time, and our message was not the message of change that the majority of voters wanted. So be it. Now, okay, that chapter's closed now, and now let John McCain do all that we can, along with our supporters, to help unite the nation and progress under a new administration.
Well, it's interesting. I've spoken to President Bush and President Bush 41, and they have always said that they could take the hits, the arrows, the barbs, but that it was harder for them. It's harder for President Clinton when Senator Clinton got insulted or attacked, and for President Bush 41 when his son did. Was it harder on your family, do you think?
My family's pretty tough, you know, and they, because I've been in local office and state office since '92, you know, the kids have grown up with this. I think they're kind of used to that, which is sort of unfortunate if you think about it, that they've grown up seeing things said and written about their mom that, you know, even they know hasn't always been true. But I think that they know that that's sort of the nature of the beast of politics. So I feel bad when they feel bad, and there were a couple of times where, yeah, especially I felt bad. Willow, the 14-year-old, she had seen T-shirts in a rally. We drove by a group of protesters in Philadelphia, and some pretty vulgar T-shirts, and Willow saw them, and she said, "Mom, they don't even know you. How can they say something like that about you?" And it sure struck me at that time that, yeah, it's unfortunate that she has to see this, and that she would feel perhaps that she's in a position of not being able to defend the truth or defend her mom. That's a little little bit unfortunate. But again, the kids have grown up with politics, knowing that, you know, it's pretty brutal on a local level too sometimes, and on a state level. So they're tough. They could handle it. They, you know, they're good, strong, kind-hearted kids. My husband is also, and they know the truth, and that's the most important thing here, is they don't have to doubt things that their mom stands for and I work towards. They know what the truth is.
Side, I've also been to some of the rallies where people go absolutely nuts when they see you and your family. I mean, the cheering. I mean, what's that like? You come out and everyone's got these huge cards and they're yelling, "Sarah, Sarah." I mean,
too, though, any of the chants of Sarah or anything that maybe would look like anything was Sarah-centric is, on my part, I know that it is not me personally that the cheers were for. Again, it's for, cool, we got a woman on the ticket. We've got this manifestation of progress and change in America, and both tickets represented that, of course. But not me personally were those cheers for, but it was just for the representation of a woman on the ticket, a mom, somebody who loves this country so much, somebody very, very committed to policies that I believe will progress this country in the right direction. I think that's what that was all about.
Well, it's interesting. You lured some feminists to the Republican ticket, which you might not expect. I mean, feminists have typically been Democrats. By feminists, I mean some of the farther left. But you lured some of them. But if you think about it, a woman on the ticket is very exciting for women. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that you didn't get more women? I mean, you're a working woman. You've been successful as a governor. Why do you think some women probably weren't lured to your ticket?
I don't know, but I'm going to work harder on that if anything ever happens in the future in terms of me running for offices, to kind of put more women at ease, I guess, with the idea of me or any other woman serving in higher office. I think that it's really important, because I truly believe that we have more in common than we have differences when we want to make sure that our communities are healthy and safe, and that we have health care for our children, and that our daughters have equal opportunities in the workforce. All those things that we have in common, again, certainly outweigh the differences than perhaps we have. So I would like to see perhaps some of these feminist women, and sometimes, you know, I consider myself too as a feminist, whatever that means. In fact, I subscribe to Feminists for Life. I'm a pro-life woman who wants to make sure that you know, we cherish the sanctity of life, and this group Feminists for Life sort of encapsulates all that I believe in with the pro-life movement. But I would like to see more of these feminist women open their minds too, and not be perhaps narrow-minded in consideration of a working mom who represents much of what they have fought for all these years, also with equal opportunity. And I would like them to just be bold and brave, and kind of at least explore someone like me. And I guess like me means I am a conservative in terms of not believing that government is the answer to all of our problems and challenges. I believe that individuals and our families, and then on a local level, a local government, can make better decisions than for what we need and what our priorities are than what big government on a federal level can make for us. So in that sense, you know, they're going to put me in the conservative box, then so be it. But I would sure like to be able to meet more of these women and find that common ground and similarities, and have them not be afraid of finding out what perhaps a conservative woman represents and believes in.
Do you think it's the abortion issue?
That's what I've wondered too. Is it that litmus test that is the be-all, end-all for some women? I don't know. But my position on abortion is here again, knowing that there is common ground here with those of us who are pro-life and want to see fewer and fewer abortions in this world, and those who support abortion rights. They too, the ones whom I have spoken with, and there are those in my own family that don't agree with all my pro-life positions that I've taken. But the common ground that we have is they too would like to see fewer abortions, and preventative measures be available, and being, you know, that we wouldn't shy away from those things. So again, the end result would be fewer abortions. So I don't know if that's the be-all, end-all issue there. If it is, it's kind of unfortunate, because I think we could and should all be working together to meet the challenges that our families, our communities, our nation face.